Hi, I'm Colette Norton with Optum Community Centers. Joining me is Jennifer Agee, a mental health professional. Jennifer, what are you going to share with us today?
Today, I'm going to be teaching you 5 tips to help manage your anxiety at home.
Oh, that sounds like a great topic.
Thank you. Anxiety disorders are the most common mental illness in the United States. It affects 40 million adults, 18 and older, which is actually 18% of our population. So if you have experienced anxiety, you are not alone and there is help. I've been a therapist for 23 years, the best outcomes for anxiety are often when the patient, the doctor, and the mental health professional work together. Today, I want to teach you 5 techniques that you can use at home to better manage your anxiety symptoms. The first technique I want to teach you is belly breathing. When we feel anxious, often physiological changes start taking place in the body, and the first one that most people notice is a change in their breathing. When we feel anxious, our breathing gets more shallow, and we start breathing from the chest rather from the belly. This shallow breathing is sending a very powerful message to the brain. That shallow breathing is a warning system. Our brain knows that means that danger is near. That panting, slow breath or fast breath that comes from up here, it tells our system to flee. This goes back to our early survival days of man when we had to outrun saber-toothed tigers on the field and we had to sprint. Our body knows if we're shallow breathing, danger is near. So I want you to think about this. We do have natural deep belly breath. We belly breathe when we are feeling safe. Often we do this without thinking about it when our systems are safe, and we do it when we're sleeping. This kind of breathing stimulates the vagus nerve and activates the relaxation response in the parasympathetic nervous system. You don't have to remember that part, but just remember the belly breathing. I want you to try this technique with me now. Place one hand on your belly and the other hand on your chest. Open your mouth, take a deep breath, and let your shoulders relax. Let the muscles of your upper body just relax and become loose. Close your mouth, and for a few seconds, I want you to inhale slowly through your nose. Don't breathe from here. I want you to push your stomach out, so try it again. Breathe in slowly through your nose, pushing your belly out. Pause. Your belly should contract back in. I want you to repeat this multiple times. Belly out when you inhale, in when you exhale. Great shortcut for the brain. Tip number 2, you might not like, but it's actually going to be very helpful. Exercise. We all know we should do it. Most of us don't want to. But the research shows that when we exercise, especially vigorous exercise, it does have a significant impact on our anxiety. But if you're not wanting to go hardcore, research has also found that even a 10-minute walk a day can decrease your anxiety symptoms by 20%. That is a pretty good statistic, okay? There is a link between anxiety and depression, and I don't want to move past that too quickly. Anxiety and depression often go together like peanut butter and jelly. Where you see one, often you see the other, because our anxious thoughts are not telling us good stories. It's running into the future and trying to predict what's going to happen, and the predictions are never good, right? Does your anxiety ever tell you something amazing is going to happen and you're going to feel great about it? No, it tells you all the doom and gloom worst case scenarios. So often those anxious thoughts can really push us towards more depressive symptoms because we're constantly being fed really negative things. If anxiety is the root, then often there is depression. If depression is the root, there is not necessarily anxiety. That's something to keep in mind when you're talking to your doctors. Tip number 3, it's mindfulness and meditation. Meditation actually has a ton of research behind it that shows that 8 weeks of consistent mindfulness and meditation has a significant effect on the body. It affects our inflammatory markers and has a cascading effect that just benefits every part of us. When we are meditating, it affects the amygdala, that primal region of the brain that regulates fear and emotion, that fight or flight part of us. I've actually found that most people don't do very well if they try and Zen like Buddha on their own in silence. I can't, it takes a lot of time to get to that place. So give yourself a hack. find an app that does it. There's tons of great guided meditations online, and there's tons of great guided meditations that you can find in an app as well. But I want you to try one with me today, if you'd like. I want to show you the streaming mindfulness and meditation exercise. What I want you to do is, if you're comfortable and you are in a safe place, close your eyes and take a deep cleansing breath. Allow your muscles to relax. Allow your jaw muscles to relax. And I want you to picture that you are standing in front of a beautiful stream. And you notice that the stream, it goes around, it circles around, but there is one offshoot, and it flows just a lovely flow right to the ocean. As you're standing here and you're observing the beautiful stream, you begin to notice, you just start to notice that there are leaves that are on this stream. And on each of these leaves are different thoughts or feelings that are currently running through your mind. I want you to observe them with curiosity, not judgment, and just notice that they're there. And in this meditation, you have 3 choices. I can choose to reach down and pick up that leaf, hold it, look at it, and do something with it. I can choose to let it circle back around, knowing that that's not really for me right now. It's not for today. Or I can realize that it's not for me to hold anymore. It's not helpful for me to hold. I can release it and let it go into the beautiful, beautiful ocean. So notice the thoughts that are on these leaves, and notice that you actually have the power to make those decisions. Do I hold them? Do I let them flow? Or do I release them? Notice the shift that starts to take place when you realize that you actually have a lot of power and control over your decisions and abilities of what to pick up, what to hold, and what to let go of. You are not powerless here. Use this technique regularly, and you'll find that your brain will create a life hack where you can very quickly get to that place by just thinking leaves on a stream, and your brain will get there pretty quickly. All right, tip number 4 is the magic marker. This might sound silly, but I want you to visualize something with me here, okay? I want you to picture that I'm holding a bunch of magic markers, and I say to you, all right, what I want you to do is I want you to catch as many magic markers as you can possibly catch. Ready, set, whoosh. I throw them up. Reaching, reaching, reaching. Chances are you're gonna grab none. Now, take 2, what we're gonna do is I want you to catch 1 magic marker. I'm gonna throw the same markers up, the same amount, and I want you to laser focus on 1 and catch it, okay? Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoosh, grab. Anxiety is a lot like that. When there's so many thoughts running through our head, it feels impossible to grab just 1. So what I want you to do is think, what magic marker can I grab right now? And grab that one. Focus on the one you can do something about. A helpful tip, if you happen to be task anxious, right? A lot of people get task anxious. My to-do list is too long. I want you to take that idea of the magic marker and all of those things that the markers represent, brainstorm them, brain dump them, write them all down. And then after you write them down, rank them in order from the most important to the least important. And each one that you go down, that's the magic marker that you're gonna focus on at any given point in time. All right, the 5th technique, I absolutely love. This is one I do a lot even with kids because you can do it anywhere. In a classroom, you could be in a meeting, and nobody has to even know that you're doing it. You can do it out loud. I think there's some power to saying these things out loud, but here we go. It's using your 5 senses as a grounding technique. We all know what the 5 senses are, right? So I want you to notice 5 things in the room that you can see. So for example, right now, I can see the camera, I can see a microphone, I can see someone in the back trying to be quiet as they walk around. So I can name 5 things that I can see, right? What are 4 things that I can touch? I can feel the smoothness of my nail polish. I can feel the ridges on my jacket. So you can go through those, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What are 3 things that I can hear? If you're alone, name them out loud. It's an additional grounding technique to name things out loud, but you don't have to for this to be really effective, okay? So 3 things that I can hear. What are 2 things that I can smell? And what is 1 thing that I can taste? This very simple technique is extremely powerful in bringing us back into our bodies. When we are feeling anxious, often there's this weird feeling like we're not completely in our body. It's called dissociation. It's super common. So if you experience it, it's not a problem. It's okay. It's very normal. But techniques like this bring us back into our body and back into the present moment. Thank you for listening today, and I appreciate you paying attention to the Optum channel. We're here to help you live your best life.